G'day, my name's Ian. Today I'd like to have a chat about the evolution of my V-Strom. We'll go through each stage of the build and the advantages I gained and the costs involved. People seem to think I spent a shitload of money on this bike. I didn't really. It's probably less than you think, and it's probably more than what I think. I haven't really added it up yet. The cost can vary a hell of a lot. There's quite a few machining jobs I did myself which cost nothing. If you were to take it to a machine shop and get them to do it, it might cost you a few $100. Spare parts, like buying used parts, can vary a hell of a lot. So I rode this bike basically standard for quite a few years, and I decided to start modifying it so it was better off-road. So the first stage was I stripped the bike. I removed all the headlight assembly, which was about 10 kilograms, lost a lot of weight off that front end straight up. I put on a custom dash and yeah, just stripped off everything I could, pillion pegs, center stand, anything like that that was unnecessary. Yeah, lost a lot of weight in that first step. So instantly the bike was better off-road because it was lighter, less top heavy. The fork springs worked better because it had less weight on top of them. So cost-wise, the dash cost me $220, the headlight was only $80, the mount for the headlight was $95. What else? Number plate light was $20, and I built my own rack, so the steel cost me about 20 bucks. So all up, $435, and we lost well over 10 kilograms in that part of the build. So the next stage of the build, I raised the bike, give me more ground clearance, more suspension travel, and made it a hell of a lot better off-road. So for the cost, I bought a second-hand Africa twin shock, which cost me $240. Extending the damper rods cost me nothing. Did it all myself, and I just had to buy some longer brake lines, which cost me about $140. So all up, $380. So the next stage, I put the 21-inch wheel on, and that made a massive difference. That was probably one of the biggest differences I noticed. It just rolled through the bump so much easier, a lot lighter, less rolling weight. It was 6 kilograms lighter than the V-Strom wheel. So cost, I bought a second-hand wheel for $120, and I bought an oversized disc and adapter, which cost me another 250 bucks. So we're looking at $370. So next up was the front end swap. I had looked at improving the V-Strom forks with cartridge emulators, better springs, all that kind of stuff, but they're too skinny, it's too much flex in them. So I decided to go for a full front end swap. And the WR450 front end made a massive difference again. Much better handling, doesn't have that same flex, soaks up the bumps so much nicer. And yeah, just turned this bike into a beast. So cost wise, the triples and forks cost me, I believe, $300. I can't find where I've written it down. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. About $30 in bearings. Brake caliper cost me $50. I bought some second-hand springs, which cost me $80. I replaced the headlight. I put the WR style headlight on it, which cost me another $120, and 50 bucks for an axle. So $630 all up. So should we add all that up? Am I going to need a calculator? We got there's $1,000, $1,380, $1,380, 17, 18, 15, $1,815. That's adding up in my head. I'll get a calculator and double check that. Yeah, so for under $2,000, I've turned this bike into an off-road beast. It is still very capable on the road. I can still do multiple day trips. I can load it up. Those forks handle really well on the road. The only limiting factor in the twisties is the tyre choice. And obviously without a decent screen on there, I've got a bit of wind noise, but that's my choice. You can put a screen on if you want. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.